Welcome to the My Fence Life bonus podcast series, Ask Me About My Day, where you can eavesdrop on phone conversations between Dan, industry leaders, and fencers from around the country to find out about their day.
Hey, what's happening, FenceLifers? Episode 130 of Ask Me About My Day. Look who I got over here, man. Look at this guy. Caleb Roth, Mr. Expert Stain and Seal himself, Mr. Free Expert Stain and Seal University, Mr. Gopher Wood, Mr. Climb Rocks, and just Mr. Everything, man. Mr. took his kids sledding today. Well, you would just show me, man. What's it, like 1 degree there?
Well, it's 0 now.
It's 0 now. It's a 29 degrees here. I'm back in my office, man. I got my vest on. It never gets down to, we're going to be down to 17 degrees tonight. It never happens here in Southeast Louisiana. It's like an anomaly. And literally, we had a little bit of rain last night, and I woke up this morning. It was like 25, and they shut the schools down. Nobody went to work today. It was funny. It's kind of like when it rains in Las Vegas. Nobody goes anywhere, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
half the folks at our office work this week. We got 8 inches of snow. So if you couldn't get out, everybody's working from home. So we had some people making stains. So they're committed. So I appreciate them.
Yeah, man. If we had 8 inches of snow, the entire world would shut down here. Like the grocery store shelves would be empty.
People be selling loaves of bread for $100 on Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
Yep.
So anyway, man. Mr. Caleb Roth, how are you doing, bro? What's going on with you?
Man, I'm doing great, and I appreciate you bringing me on the show today. Or tonight. I don't know when this show is going to air, but thank you for having me. And,
actually, this is going to drop. This is going to drop Wednesday morning, so which is actually tomorrow. And then Wednesday night, I've got Brian with US Hammer on. So we're going to talk about FenceTech and all that. But man, we can talk a little bit about FenceTech because I know you're going to be there. I know you're going to be at FenceTech.
What next? Is it next week?
It's next week, man.
It is next week, man.
Can you imagine? It's already here. It feels like we were just in Oklahoma City, but instead we're going to be in Smashville, Tennessee. Some people are calling it Nash Vegas. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing, man. And super excited that it's in my hometown, man. Don't have to drive anywhere. I can bring everybody out and enjoy the show.
Yeah. So, man, for FenceTech, before we get into Expert Stain and Seal, for FenceTech, the My Fence Life show is bringing a unique T-shirt that we had designed. I'm going to reveal it tomorrow night on the show, or tonight on the show, because this is airing Wednesday morning. And this shirt I made, man, it's not for everyone. I didn't want to design a shirt, Caleb, that just anybody could wear. I wanted a shirt that says, I am the guy on the fence line, digging holes, working in wet boots, cold, cracked hands, going home, digging, concrete boogers out his nose. You know what I'm saying? When you see a guy wearing this T-shirt, you're going to be like, that cat right there, he builds fence. So we did a colored version of this artwork that we had created. Benji found this really dope guy online that you can commission to draw for you, and we told him our vision, man, and this dude made it happen, and we're real happy with it. So we're going to have those shirts to give away. We got a limited amount, but I think we got about 250 we're going to give away. So that's big news for us. And plus we got our new fence sign that's going to be out, the black one that we gave away in Vegas. We're finally going to start giving it out to the public at FenceTech, man. So we got a lot of stuff going on.
Sounds like it. I'm excited and kind of a little anxious to see what this shirt looks like.
Oh, man, it is. It's pretty badass. We went kind of for
it offensive?
Huh?
Is it offensive, or can you wear it? Is it family friendly?
No, it's family friendly. It's family friendly. It's it says FenceLife across the top, and it's kind of it's. I'll show you when we get off the show. I'll text you a picture of it, but it's really awesome. And then we're going to do a grayscale version of it on hoodies and on the backs of T-shirts because it's a whole lot less expensive to do that grade version than we did a DTG full color. So, and those get kind of pricey. You know what I mean?
It ain't cheap, man. That's the way it goes.
So, man, you're going to be at FenceTech. Do you know where you're going to be around this infamous park that they've been talking about? Do you know where you're located?
Yeah, I'm going to be right beside mySalesman, and I guess on the other side, maybe I'm right in the middle of it. I know that.
Okay, so you're going to be by mySalesman, Unlimited
booth
Sports
1941 and booth 2040. We've got two different companies there, and so it'll be fun.
And you're going to be by Unlimited Sports Solutions, mySalesman. And
yep.
And what's your other booth you got? Is that the?
We'll have a Go for Wood booth there, and then
Nice.
Expert Stain and Seal booth. Be back to back, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Is it going to be one booth or two separate booths?
Two totally separate booths. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you did like a 10 by 20 and brought them together or what.
No. We got a 20-foot island and we split it right down the middle. So two 20-foot booths there. So it'll be I'll get to walk back and forth.
Dude, I can't wait, man. Any surprises? Oklahoma City, we had surprises, man.
Yeah. No, we got to, probably. I'm sure we'll do something that's a surprise to somebody. So we always want to do something. So being in our hometown, man, it's exciting. And, we thought about going nuts and doing something crazy, but probably not going to do anything too crazy because, in my opinion, you don't want to show off too much, right? I think it's a good idea to go to the show for reasons to meet people, make good deals with people, and people may do deals with you if you're extra crazy that they that wouldn't have done anyways, and then may not even be a good deal after it's all said and done. So I may change that after I do something crazy one day, but no, man, we're going to just keep it simple and do what we came to do, and hopefully shake a lot of hands, meet a lot of nice people in our own backyard.
Man, we're going to kiss a lot of hands and shake a lot of babies, right?
That's it.
So, look, man, last year you unveiled your pre-staining machine, which, by the way,
Yep.
We're doing a deal, guys. If you haven't heard already on the show, we say it every live show, but if you need one, you don't have the money for one, you call Fence King, and we will get you one. We'll finance you through our financer. We sold one to a guy about 6-7 weeks ago, and the guy called today and paid his loan off because he sold stain jobs during the winter, and he already paid the machine off. There's no prepayment penalty.
Nice.
He took advantage of it. It was an awesome deal. Y'all need one, get one, because let me tell you, we're using it, and I was telling you before the show, man, last year I got a staining machine, or I started staining like April-ish, I guess. Yeah, I started staining in April, and it was 2% of our total sales. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but 2% is a lot, and that 2% is going to be a whole lot more this year. We've already sold 4 jobs this year in January. We got 3 of them already built, waiting to be stained, which we're going to hit those right before FenceTech, right after this rain that went through yesterday. And the other one still needs to be built, but man, we got 4 right off the bat in the beginning of the year. So staining is going by storm. And then we got this gopher wood that you got going on. I'm excited to learn about that at FenceTech and start promoting that, especially since it's expert stain, man.
Yeah, that's probably our big launch. That's probably the thing we're releasing this year. That will be sort of the official launch of Gopher Wood. I'm excited about that, man. That's been a long time coming. We've been doing that for many years, and just putting a new spin on it, and going to go big with it. So I'm excited about that, and looking forward to setting up distributorships and dealers and things like that, and
Yeah,
doing what we do, man. So it's exciting.
You mentioned about coming to the show and networking and so forth. I went to Tony Thornton's business success deal, and everybody knew My Fence Life was posting those Pete and Jake cartoons. I didn't know they were copyrighted. Well, I got a cease and desist from Fence News to quit doing it. So we quit doing it, right? Well, I ran into Charlie, who owns Fence News. I ran into him at Tony's deal. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, we hashed it out. Sorry, bro, didn't realize that, but, blah, blah, blah. Now, Charlie and I become great friends. Since the beginning of December, I stopped on my way to Houston, had dinner with him and some other fence guys, and the week after FenceTech, I'm going to his house for another deal. And we've just become great friends, man. He calls me every few days, asks me how I'm doing, and that's all because I went to a fence event, you know?
Charles is a good guy, man.
Yeah,
He really
yeah.
is.
Yeah, he really is. I like him and Mary over at Fence News. Great people, great magazine. I enjoy it. But it's just to show you just that right there, you know, that relationship that was built. If I got out of fencing today, I'd still have something in common with Charlie, and he would be someone that I could reach out to if I needed something, you know? So anyway, bro, so we got FenceTech. You're going to be there. But the big news is we got Expert Stainless Steel University, which is free, F-R-E-E, fellas, coming up in 3 weeks in Alexandria, Tennessee. That's just east of Nashville, right?
Yep. Yeah, about 45, 50 minutes east of Nashville, an hour if you're slow. And that's fun, man. Staining University, we've been doing it for, I guess, since 2019. So this is our 5th year of doing it. I guess that makes it the 5th year. So a lot of fun, man. We meet a lot of good folks, and still doing it for free. So I'm excited that we haven't changed that. So it's for those that don't know, it's basically a 2-day event. It's Staining University, where you come and learn all about the staining business, stain and seal, wood restoration, fence staining, pre-staining, deck staining, log home staining, you name it. All the business side, all the hands-on side. You learn the tools. You learn all that from people who do it. Not just people from my company, but we bring in guests from all over the country. And then we also do a small wood care expo. So we got a small expo set up for stuff that's specific to the trade that we do. You're not going to see the guy that sells the portable vacuum cleaners or the things you stand on that vibrate or candles. You're just going to see stuff.
Has that expo grown? And did it get any bigger? Did you get any new people, or did you just not focus on it?
We haven't focused on growing the expo side of it. We know we're not looking to turn this into an event that we make money on. That's not why we do it. We turn down more than we let come, just to put it like that. We always typically turn down a lot of people, and the people that do come, we don't charge them. So it's got to be the right thing for the people, and not just about collecting checks on this. So we always make sure if they're there, they bring value.
There's going to be some great guys there. Charlie with Fence News will be there. I'm sure Rachel and Kelsey with mySalesman are going to be there, right?
Probably so, yeah.
Joe Everest will be there. Who else? I was just thinking about. Oh, Justin Magnesium will be there from Making All Things New. Fence and Deck, I think is the name of his company. And then
Making All Things New, yeah.
Yeah, Making All Things New. And then Kenny, the Stain Man. He's going to be there.
I haven't talked to Kenny in a while, but I bet he'll come.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. And Dan Will is going to be there. So me, Joe, and Dan are rooming together. Matter of fact, man, let me tell you what kind of guy Justin Magnesium is with Making All Things New. And his real name isn't Magnesium. I'm sure Caleb can tell you how to say it, but I can't say it, so that's what I call him. And he's totally fine with it. He went ahead, and I'm bringing a guy from my hometown. Not my hometown, but where I live. You know him. You call him the Italian Stallion. Venerini, Stephen Venerini. Yeah, I'm bringing him with me. Him and I are going to drive up, and we were going to fly. And I was like, dude, why don't we drive? That's like a 7-hour drive where you and I are stuck in a car together, and we can talk business. Yep. You know, and I think it would be a great education for both of us. I'm further along in business than you are. I'd like to hear some of your new and fresh ideas. So I think that's going to be a great opportunity for both of us. But Justin was like, man, I was trying to find a place for him to stay. And Justin's like, dude, I'll sleep on the couch. He can have my room. Tell him he can stay with me. That's the kind of dude Justin is, man.
Yeah, man. That's the way it is.
And before you get into that, bringing up Stephen Venerini, him and I, or when we come up there, we're coming up a little early, and we're going to go see Caleb, and we're going to be working on doing a free staining day where we can teach people how to stain down in southeast Louisiana. We're going to be holding a mini staining university, but it's not everything. It's just come learn how to wash fence, stain fence, and we'll probably throw some other things in there because Steven does that deco sealing and deck sealing and stuff, which is something you can add to your staining arsenal. So that's big news too, and that's going to be free. So what you got? I saw you went and grabbed the book, bro. What you got?
Well, you asked me who all was coming. So we've got a keynote speaker coming to the university this year. He's a Stanford professor. Really? He's retired from the military. He does teaching with the Dave Ramsey organization. Does teaching with two big log home stain manufacturers, Sashco and Permachink, and then he runs a wood restoration or a wood care business in the log home side of things. Covers about 14 states. He's wrote a couple of books. This is just one of his books. The guy's named Wayne Bell, and so I'm really excited to get Wayne at the university. But he's all in it, man. Lots of experience, been in the trade for 30 years, and I don't know how he fit military, police, Stanford, and the business, and he's got another manufacturing company. I don't know how he does it all at once, plus does all these classes. But we're excited to get him here, and I think that will be probably the most value we'll be able to bring this year will be this speaker. You've probably never heard of him, but most of the time when we have our most impactful speaker, it's somebody you've never heard of. So super excited to get Wayne up here. And so for those that come, here's one book that he wrote. He's got several, but this one's called Pricing Your Work by the Numbers, the Annotated Project Pricing Workbook Companion to Establishing and Growing Your Business. So that's another one he's got, Establishing and Growing Your Business. It says Street Smarts and Survival Skills for Pricing Your Work as a Service-Based Contractor. And this is an old book. This one's from 2014. But man, talk about some deep stuff in here that's legit. So this will translate to any business, fence business, car detailing business, brain surgery business. It won't matter. It's all going to be in there. So that's going to be exciting. I'm really excited about this one.
I'm excited too, sharp. Man. You had Tom Reber last year. You got Wayne Bell this year. But I'm excited, man. You notice I'm drinking. You notice I'm not no whiskey glass, right?
I don't know what's in there.
I'm drinking tea, baby. Drinking tea.
I'm drinking water.
I'm teeing, man. I haven't had a drink in a couple weeks. I don't drink a whole lot anymore. Like seldom. It's crazy.
Why'd you quit drinking, then?
Why did I quit?
Yeah.
I don't think I quit like intentionally. I just, I've been working on me, working on my health. I'm down, I'm down 116 pounds since May. Is that crazy? And I went from, I quit eating meat and I was doing pescatarian. And now I'm damn near almost vegetarian, man. I've ate fish/shrimp once since the new year. And what's today? The 16th? So, yeah, I'm starting to eat a lot of quinoa and whatever you say it, and, vegetable soup, bean soup. Man, I'm just getting my protein elsewhere, and I feel freaking amazing. I got a guy that's a masseuse/physical therapist that comes once a week to the house, stretches me and gets me mobile. Just look, man, the dude just he's one of these earthy guys, crystals and stuff, But he knows his stuff, and he'd be like, "What's your body telling you?" I don't know, man. My neck's kind of bothering me, this and that. And the dude just gets on there and does some Chuck Norris stuff and works me. And I tell you what, man, he said I had that this morning, and he's like, "Man, your range of motion in the past 6 months is just unreal, And I just feel better, man, just by eating better and not drinking. I went to Tony's thing, and one night I sat up drinking bourbon with everybody, hanging out, and I felt like trash for like 2 days. And I'm like, dude, what am I doing? Robert Whitaker, he quit drinking a year, maybe or more. And I remember him saying, dude, I feel so much better, my clarity, So, yeah, man, I'm okay with
Alcohol's poison, man. It is.
I'm not saying I won't drink. I'll have a beer or I'll have a gin and soda maybe once a week at dinner. But but half the time I don't even do that. you know?
Well, I think it's cool you're telling the world about it. That's awesome. Personal excellence is what we all got to achieve, man.
Yeah, so I'm working on my health, working on dressing for the job I want. I'm getting prepped for the next step, the next level. You know, so we're getting ready to we were talking about this earlier today, and I'm getting ready to grow and push west, and we're going to be smart about it in 2024. You know, so we got a lot of things going on. I need to make sure I'm around to make it all happen and also enjoy it. So,
no doubt, man.
You know,
well, that's awesome. Proud of you.
So, man, this freestanding university, I am so stoked. We got a lot of stuff that happens. I know in the past, and I'm assuming it's going to happen again this year, but Joe Everest talks about the importance of social media and posting pictures and pictures of your team and all that kind of stuff. I can't think of her name. The girl, Mandy. Now, I don't know if she's going to be doing it this year, but I know Mandy used to do coaching on how to price stain jobs and so forth. Who's going to be doing that this year?
You know, that one's probably going to be me this year. Mandy's running Gopherwood. We've moved her out of the service department. She's going to be running that whole division of Gopherwood. So
wow,
it's a big move for her. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, man, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the reins on that one this year, and we're simplifying our university to try to make it where you walk away with bigger nuggets. You know, we've made it where there's so many little nuggets, and this year we're going to try to simplify it and try to do less things, but do those things much bigger. So excited to see how that turns out. We are going to pre-stain a fence, and we're going to stain one before it's built. We're going to stain one after it's built. So that'll be fun.
Who's building the fence?
Who knows?
So
we may build. I guess we'll build the fence that we're going to stain after it's built. We'll build that ourselves. The pre-stained fence, the one we pre-stained, I don't know who's going to take that one.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to pre-stain it and build it. So here's my thing, man. When you pre-stain, are you going to do dip tank and you're going to use the pre-stain machine? You're going to show both?
We'll probably just run the stain machine. Probably just the stain machine. That dip tank is a monstrosity to haul around. The little stain machine, I could throw it in the back of a Ford Ranger. So
right,
we're going to use the stain machine.
Are you going to have your Toyota out there?
Man, I sold that one.
Oh,
I'll probably be in something different.
Come on. What year was that Toyota, man? It was like a 90. No,
that was a 81 Toyota. I've got an 82 or 83 FJ60 Land Cruiser now. I'll probably drive that.
Okay. Yeah, that little Toyota was awesome, man. I remember that when I was in high school.
I like driving old stuff, man.
Yeah. So we're going to pre-stain using the machine. Yep. Perfect, because I want to see how that's done, because my guys have said, hey, you know, we find that this is a little easier, that is a little easier. So I'm gonna get some questions from them, find out what I need to ask. So hopefully their questions, the answers to those questions will help everyone. And you're right, man. That sucker's so clean and easy. My guys sent me pictures. They were on a job site. What we've learned to do is we pre-stain what we think we're going to need. You know how you always bring a little extra? Well, we don't stain a little bit extra. We bring the pre-stain machine. And they're like, oh, you know, we got to pre-stain a little bit of this. They pull it out the back seat of the truck, plop it up, pre-stain, and we don't have any leftover pre-stain material.
Nice. Good deal.
So that's
what it's made for, man.
That's how we found to cut back on waste, because then the first couple jobs we did, we're like, man, we got all these boards left over. What are we going to do with them? You know, the lady picked cedar tone, and nobody else has picked cedar since then. So we found that it was messing with our margins. So that's what we figured would work best, and it's worked great. You know, so the freestanding university is February 8th and 9th.
Yep, that's a Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday, 3 weeks from now. There's a link in every single show description for the past 2 months, 3 months, that says register here for the Expert Stain and Seal Free University.
Thank you.
You can click on it. It's everywhere, man. It's on all the podcasts. It's in the YouTube descriptions. You can find it everywhere, man. We've been plastering it everywhere. How's attendance looking? Is it up, down, same as last year?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's I think we got 100 companies, roughly 100 companies signed up for it already. So every company brings a couple people. So it'll be busy, man.
It looks, when you walk into the university, it looks like you're at a bowling convention. Those guys, the pressure washers that are there, all those shirts, they look like they're bowlers, man.
Yeah. They do that.
You know,
that's for sure.
But they all have their shirts. I know Venturini's going to have on his red, white, and green shirt. Looks like an Italian flag. But those guys, they got the shirts down pat, man. They all look like professional bowlers with those things on.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet, so I'm gonna stick it out like it is. I'm gonna wear the old school shirts.
Well, what we did is we got some long sleeve shirts, and I got some black ones. They're the long sleeve, the most SPF that I could have, and it's got stain crew on it to help protect the guys. Mm-hmm. And I was a little concerned about summer, but they were like, dude, we'd rather wear this than get it on us. And that's what we've been wearing. So when we go out and stain, they got a completely different shirt that we wear that says Stain Crew on the back, and it's black. Especially if you're doing a black job, you better get a freaking suit if you're doing a black stain job. But
don't be afraid to wear suits, man. You can take a suit and you can cut a slice in it from the collar, just below the collar, all the way down to the bottom of the crotch, and the whole back will be open. You can put that suit on and spray.
That's a good idea.
Take the suit off when you're done. You'll feel like a new man. You won't have to wear a black long sleeve shirt. I do like wearing long sleeves. When I built Fence, I always wore long sleeves in the summertime, but nothing wrong with that. But when I was staining, typically you wouldn't be out in it all day long. You know, you'd have shorter job cycles. So I would typically wear like a polo shirt and then put on that spray suit, go to town, then take it off, and feel like air conditioned.
Man, I like that idea of cutting it from the back collar all the way down.
Yeah, that's air conditioning, man.
Yeah. Well, we were examining our numbers, man, and just because we were staining, because we went to staining university and started learning about stain, and I sent Dylan and a couple of my guys up to Joe's place in Missouri for the deal that you did do there. Mm-hmm. I sent them up there. I said, y'all go up there, y'all figure out how to do this, because when you come home, we stain and fence. And because of that, 2% of our sales last year was nothing but stain. It helped boost our overall gross sales and our margins. And our margins were higher, so it helped bump things up, man. So it's a no-brainer for me. And I'm excited to see about this gopher wood, because right now, the only way you can get pre-stained is, I think, doesn't Alta do a pre-stain like at Home Depot? I see these guys doing like a pine pre-stained cedar. I know Halco carries, who is it? It's there's somewhere else you can get pre-stained, right?
Yeah, man. I think most of the stain companies have been working on pre-stain for years. It's been going on since forever. So Benford's got a stain line. I think Halco's got a wood defender stain line.
Okay.
There's a bunch of them out there. We're just putting our own spin on it, but there's nothing new under the sun, right? So a lot of opportunity out there for pre-stain. We're just putting our spin on it. But yeah, it's a great way for the guy who wants to stain that doesn't want to stain to offer that to the customer, right? You want all the benefits, but you don't want to take on the liability, or maybe you don't want to take on the extra workload. Maybe you don't have the people. Maybe you don't have a good subcontractor in your area. Pre-stained lumber. It's kind of a no-brainer, So.
Are you selling pre-stained 4x4s and 2x4s also?
We got it all, yeah. So really? if we're doing cedar, we're doing kiln-dried cedar, and if you buy a 4x4 from us that's pre-stained, it's going to have a post-saber sleeve on it. So I love the steel post. I love steel posts. The Postmaster and the Schedule 40 steel posts are great. Probably my preference, but if you want the look of wood, you want to do a wood post, we'll just do one with a 20-year warranty on it.
Man, so you're going to do a wood post, have it pre-stained, and it's going to have a post saber on it.
Yeah, and that's going to depend on which supplier. Some of our suppliers, wholesalers, they're going to push. They're just going to push the runners and the pickets and let you do steel post, and then others are going to buy the post. So it's going to depend on where you get it at. But yeah, it's available, and I'm sure anybody will bring it in for you. So. But having that post saber sleeve on the pre-stained cedar fence is going to be gorgeous and last a long, long time. So
yeah, so
we're excited to see some of those start going in the ground.
How can we get this gopher wood, man? How do we get it? Where do we get it from?
Got to find a dealer, man. You got to find a dealer. We don't sell direct on that, so you'll have to find somebody. Ask your fence wholesaler, ask your supply house about gopher wood, and tell them to reach out to us, and we'll get you hooked up with it. We do got a small amount of dealers right now. We got one in Louisiana. I'll tell you about them later.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So looking for partners. If you're interested in gopher wood, let us know. That's going to be the launch at FenceTech, is kind of the launch on that. So hopefully we'll make a bunch of good friends and partner up with some folks and get that thing moving in the right direction.
Yeah. I know I'm jumping all over the place, man, but I'm thinking about Stain and Seal University, and another awesome thing with Stain and University is you hold it in your hometown is that the fairgrounds at your hometown?
Yeah, we do it in our hometown, man. There's a lot of people move out here to the small towns and run small businesses and stuff, so we want to support that. And so if you do come to university, but get gas at our gas station, get coffee at our coffee shop, eat at our restaurants. If you see trash, pick it up, take care of it, treat it like it's your own. And that will really be helpful for the folks in our community here. And
then when you do lunch and stuff, don't you get lunch from local businesses, right?
Yeah. We got some local food trucks coming in for this one. So
okay.
We always bring in pretty good food. So I'm excited about that. Barbecue truck's the one I'm going to.
So you're bringing that in for lunch, and then what about, didn't you do steaks or something one year?
Yeah, we did a bunch of steaks last year, but it's going to be so daggum cold. It's -2 right now. We're probably not going to do that this year.
Okay.
It is cold. We normally do it later in February. It's a little bit warmer, but right now it is going to be cold. So probably go find us a restaurant somewhere. Good deal.
What else, man? What else we got going on?
Man, that's it. We're just focusing on those two things. Obviously, we want to grow everything we're doing. So, Expert Stain and Seal, it is the year for Expert Stain and Seal. We just need the people that are listening to ask for it by name at these supply houses. Help us get in there. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of the supplier. We'll make sure they got it. And that's it, man. We're just excited to grow this year. We're really excited about 2024. Some people think maybe a crazy year, but man, I think it's going to be a great year. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I think, if you got your mindset and doing the right thing, and you've been listening to things that we've been talking about on these podcasts, then yeah, you're going to have a good year. But if you're not feeding your mind and learning from other people and, you're not. I mean, look, man, we're opening this new location, and you know what? I called the guy that opened the location last year, and I'm like, hey, man, tell me what not to do. Tell me the mistakes you made. I need to know.
Yep.
What'd
you learn?
What did I learn from him?
Yeah. Top 3 things.
Top 3 things I learned. Make sure it's not too far away that you can service it, right? Second thing I learned was don't lower your price because you think your overhead's less there because you don't have like a brick and mortar. And the third thing is don't move and think. No, I'm sorry. When you do move, whoever you put in charge, make sure it's the right person.
No doubt.
And I was like, how do I know it's the right person? He goes, you probably need to pull something from your current organization and not hire somebody you don't know anything about. Or like he did, he had a sub that wanted to move there. So he's like, oh, well, we'll open a location and you can do the work. You can work down there and sell jobs. And he had the right guy on the bus, but he was in 2 seats, and one of the seats was the wrong seat. Yep. So he learned a lot, man. He goes, so those are 3 things that he told me. So I was like, all right, cool. So we're going to be smart about it, man. We're going down there, and if we're going to grow, it costs money to grow. So how do you make it cost less and still grow the same amount? Well, you go ahead and join forces. And me and Ron, the consultant, he's going to open up a roof store, and we're going to share the warehouse space and the office space and the price of the forklift and the price of the internet. And so my overhead should be half. So that's how we're going to do it and be smart about it. And then that's another thing. Fence King's getting ready to move locations where we are now. We're going to find a permanent home. We're looking for property. So I'm going to utilize other small business owners to help me get more property than I need right now, because you know you're going to need more, right? And like Steven Venarini, he needs somewhere to park his trucks, you know? I got another guy that I get all my dumpsters from. He needs somewhere to store dumpsters. These guys need laydown yards. So if I can get a bigger area and sublease to them to pay for the note, so then I can grow into it, you know, I'm just doing smart things like that, so I'm not cutting myself short, and I can grow and not have it cost as much.
Well, I'm curious to see what that looks like a year after you do it, man. See how it works, and have to report back to us. I love the three things you said that the other guy did. You know, I always put a lot of prioritization on talking to people who've been there and done it to grow my business. And so I think that's the number one thing some guys are scared to do that they should be doing, is calling somebody who's done it and just ask them, man. They will tell you.
And don't be afraid to disagree with somebody. You know what I mean? Disagree with them. Don't be afraid to say what you got to say. Let them say what they got to say, because you're going to learn from that, you know? Or spitball ideas to them and see what their thoughts are. It's important. It really, really is important. Because I wouldn't be where I am today if it wouldn't be for the networking that I've done, if it wouldn't be for the advice I've gotten. And let me tell you, I'd be a whole lot further along than I am today if for the first 17, 18 years of my business, I wouldn't have somebody giving me bad advice, or gave me bad advice in the beginning, and I thought, okay, I got what I need, and I carried that bad advice for a long time. And, you know, it wasn't until I got into the AFA and started meeting other fence guys and started going, wait, something's not right. I'm doing it like this, but they're doing it like that. Maybe that's why I'm still where I am and I'm not where I should be. And I started making those relationships and, you know, realized I remember seeing Sean King on a video, and he said that he had a business consultant, and it was almost like, oh, shit, I got to get this done or I'm going to get in trouble because my business, you know what I mean? And I was like, wow. Well, now I'm the same way. I have a business consultant, you know. I have a team that I report to, and it holds me accountable. And if I go to make a bad decision, they're right there to let me know, hey, you can do it, but we're telling you right now there's going to be repercussions, and you're paying us to protect you, and this is what, you know. So I wouldn't have learned that if I wouldn't have got involved in AFA and started meeting these people and getting involved in these groups and going to these events and hearing those little nuggets that you don't hear on right here. You know, the things that we talked about prior to getting on tonight, what we're probably going to talk about, but after we get off, those are the things you're not going to hear unless you're there and you, wait, what did you say? You know?
Well, here's a question for you. Before you hired the consultant, did you think it was expensive?
Yes.
After you hired a consultant, 1 to 2 years in, how far in are you? How many months? How many years?
A year and I hired him in June of 22.
Now, what's the price? Is it worth it?
Oh, Ron, I hope you're not listening, but I probably would pay you more. Yeah, I mean.
Well, that's the point. That's the point, man. When you're on the front side of these things, before you hire the A player, before you hire the consultant, before you make the big investment into something, it always sounds expensive. But once you've done it, once you've gotten to the other side, you either grow or you learn, right? So,
right.
So I think, you know, it's supposed to be uncomfortable. I know every time I hired somebody and I knew, oh, no problem, I can afford that guy, that was not a good hire. Every time I hired somebody when I was like, man, I don't know how we're going to afford this person. And we would, you know, there's been multiple people that I've said, hey, I'm going to offer you a job, and this is going to sound like a very tiny amount to you, and it's going to sound like a really big amount to me. I'm just, you know, forewarning you. And they worked out, you know, so they took a chance on us. We took a chance on them, and it always worked out. But man, it's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It just really is.
Yeah. You know, my attorney, I literally went and saw him in September, and he's like, yeah, you know, boom, we can do this, we can do that. All right, I can help you with this. Boom. I was like, all right. I was like, so what do we got to do to get started? He goes, oh, well, I need, you know, X amount of dollar retainer. I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of played it off. I walked out the door. I'm like, that guy's out of his freaking mind. Got in my car. 3 months later, I called him up. I'm like, hey, man, I got that retainer for you. You know what his response was? He goes, it always takes him a few months. He goes, I knew I wouldn't hear from you for a while. And come to find out, that retainer hurt. But when it hurts, guess what? He doesn't have a single problem with any of his clients not listening to them. Because
you got to, yeah.
He knows if he had, a $2,500, $5,000 retainer fee, you could throw that at him and then you're wasting his time. And he's like, man, I don't have time to waste on people that don't want to listen. So he makes it hurt. Man, it hurt. But guess what? I did it, and he's been with me ever since. And I hired him in, 2019, in the beginning of September, October, November. It must have been January of 2019. I hired him, and I met him in September sometime. So it was about 3-4 months, and he's been with me ever since. And I can pick the phone up, call that guy with anything. So now I report to him and Ron. I got an assistant that's only been with me a few months, and Jay came in my office. Jay, the attorney, comes in my office, shuts my door, and I'm kind of like, what the hell are you doing shutting my door? And he said, sit down. And I was like, yes, sir. Well, I sat down, and he reamed my ass about some things. He's like, you pay me to protect you, and you did this, and you let this slide, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, and I was like, get this straightened out. Here's paperwork for this. And so he goes ahead and leaves, and I walked out to see if Dylan was in his office because, I'm his dad. I don't want some grown-ass man reaming my ass and my son's in the room next door. You know what I mean? I looked to see if he was in there, and he wasn't in there. And I looked at my assistant. I said, see, you think I run this company, but I don't. I don't run it. I got people that I'm accountable to and I have to report to. And when things don't go right, they get on me just like I get on you. And Jay's never really done that, man. He was pretty upset about what had happened. And it was an insurance issue, and I thought I was doing right. But come to find out, we had the wrong insurance guy, and he left me exposed. So we got all that stuff straightened out. And yeah, man, when you're accountable to someone and you're not the head guy in charge, and you think you can just do whatever you want, and you got some people that are smarter than you, that have been doing it longer than you. And Ron sold a pool company. He had a chain of pool stores up the East Coast. The dude's done it, Now he's got 75 spa stores across the entire nation, and then he added golf cart stores to them. So he split his overhead in half because he added golf carts and balanced it out. Now he's adding RVs to it. So now he's taking his overhead in the same location, and now everybody's paying a third. He's only got a couple spas, a couple golf carts, and he's going to have 3 RVs at each location. The exact location he's already got. He's got he's successful. There's no way I'll ever catch up to this cat.
You got to get around people like that, man. You got to, even if you can't afford consulting, man, you got to find that group of people that you can get around. That's why groups like Entrepreneur Organization and YPO, those things are worth getting into. And I'm not talking about what's it called? BNI. I'm not talking about something like that, like a little networking thing. You need to get in a group where you're the dumbest, the youngest, and the brokest guy in the room.
Right.
Get around a bunch of guys with gray hair who've done it. They're on their second or third or fourth business. You sit down and listen. That's where you really grow. And it's supposed to be uncomfortable, man. It's supposed to.
Nathan Downs. Nathan Downs in a group like that. He's like, dude, I'm like the lowest guy on the totem pole, the brokest guy, the stupidest guy in the room, and
yep.
And I've said that to Pepper before. We've been places, I'm like, hey, I'm ready to go. And she's like, why? I'm like, I'm the smartest guy in the room right now, and this is not where I want to freaking be, because I can enjoy myself, but I need to be around people who are going to stimulate me, and I'm not getting stimulated. I need people smarter than me who have done more than me. We need to get out of here, Mm-hmm. And, so we'll change that venue for whatever we're doing, and we'll go somewhere else, because I want to be around people who are successful and I can get something from,
That's it, man.
So come to Standing University. It's free. February 9th and 10th?
8th and 9th,
8th and
February
9th?
8th and 9th.
Jesus,
Thursday
what's
and
wrong
Friday,
with me?
man.
Thursday and Friday, February 8th and 9th. Come get around guys that are doing more than you're doing, and get around guys that aren't doing more than you're doing, because you're going to end up teaching somebody while you're learning something from somebody else, right?
You got it. Yep, that's it. Well, that's where all the magic happens, is in between classes and at night, you know. Same with FenceTech. All the deals are made after hours. So come to the show and hang out, meet some friends, and maybe somebody you'll do business with.
Be a good time. Come shake our hands, say hello if you haven't met us already. Come get you a T-shirt, come get you a fence sign, and go see the you're going to have that big bucket with you at FenceTech?
No, man, we're going to leave it at home. We're doing something a little different this year.
All right. I can't wait to see it, guys.
Yeah.
And start asking for expert stain and seal by name from all your fence suppliers, and ask them for Gopher Wood too. Okay?
That's it, man. I appreciate that.
All right, man.
Let's do it.
All right, buddy. I'll see you next week. And hey, fence lifers, y'all keep on fencing.
You've been listening to My Fence Life. Yes, we like to have fun. Beer, bourbon, and business. And although we have fun, we take our business very seriously. Dan Blanc is known as the Fence King, and he's been providing high-quality fence solutions since 1999. He's connected to industry leaders, business leaders, financing experts, and marketing gurus that will be on the show to talk about their success stories. To find out more about us, hit the website at myfencelife.com. Listen to the show wherever you consume your content. We are everywhere. Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcast. See you next time on My Fence Life.